Network, and it's quite an honor today to have Jerry Flavin from the SBA Faith-Based Division joining us. Good afternoon, Jerry. You're there in Washington, D.C., correct?
Hi, Gail. I am, and it's a beautiful day here in D.C. How's it in
It's
California?
absolutely beautiful. We're very excited that we finally have an opportunity to have a conversation with you and to share that conversation with not only the world, but especially those in the Southern California community about the upcoming Los Angeles Faith-Based Summit in partnership with AMPAC and other business organizations here in Southern California. Can you describe to our listeners your responsibilities there at SBA?
I'd be happy to, Gail. I'm the assistant administrator here in the Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships. I've been here now for about 4 years. It's kind of a great job, great opportunity for me to learn a lot about SBA. It's kind of an odd job in a sense, because if you look at SBA's mission, which is to help for-profit small businesses get started, grow, and succeed, you kind of scratch your head and say, well, what is this guy doing if in fact his clients, his customers, if you will, are all nonprofits? So after being here maybe 6 months or so, I realized that what I should be doing is working with faith-based and neighborhood organizations to tell them about SBA's programs. I believe that SBA has programs that can truly transform neighborhoods and change lives, but all too frequently, the people who could take advantage of these programs have no idea they exist. And that's particularly true in the underserved community. So that's basically my number one priority, is to build awareness. And I should add, without going on too long here, I should add, in terms of partnerships, faith-based neighborhood organizations make great partners because they know their communities, they know their concerns, they know their needs, they know their personalities, and most importantly, they've won the respect of the people they serve.
Faith-based sounds a lot like churches and church and government working together. Can you clarify for our audience how this works successfully when we're so accustomed to conversations where faith and politics or faith and government are often separated?
Well, I have to tell you, and I'll go back just a second to what I said earlier in terms of SBA's mission is to help for-profit small businesses get started, grow, and succeed. So the relationship that I build with faith-based and neighborhood organizations is one of awareness building, really. And if you think about it, there'd really be nothing controversial about building awareness of programs in faith-based communities. The idea being, to the extent that you can talk to pastors, talk to congregations, that's good. It enables the folks in that community or in that congregation to be aware of what we've got to offer, and they then take advantage of those programs. It's not so much the faith-based organization taking advantage of the programs, it's more a situation of the faith-based organization kind of acting as a conduit to help get the information out to their congregants and neighbors and so on.
It's absolutely essential because as a small business owner, I don't know if where the line is drawn between a small to a mid-sized to a large business owner, but my 30 plus years in business, including as a McDonald's franchisee, we found that our role as employers was essential to the development of not only our employees, but helping other service organizations within our community be able to be successful at what they were doing. And we found that there was this multiplier effect with us as employers beyond just the employment or job provision, but actually as leaders in a community around what we can do in partnerships with others. So I personally am very thrilled to hear that SBA is a part of and offering this type of awareness building through a Los Angeles-based faith-based summit, so that we can see and make that very clear connection between the role of a small business administration office and resources available through an SBA office, along with the church community and along with entrepreneurs and corporate leaders in various capacities. Is this a part of the desired outcome, or is there more that you'd like to see happen from a summit?
Well, I think at the end of the day, what we try to really stress here at SBA is, the need for building knowledge about entrepreneurship. At the end of the day, what we're all concerned about is kind of turning the economy around and creating good jobs. And this is particularly a focus of mine when it comes to underserved communities. So I think, when we talk about turning the economy around and creating good jobs, we're talking about a collaborative effort here. Yeah, it's certainly important that the government have a role like SBA, but it's also important that faith-based organizations play a role and local governments play a role. So yes, it's not just kind of a one-dimensional thing here. It's about everyone working together to kind of turn things around and make things better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This collaborative partnership model has become extremely essential given the economic state of our country in recent years. And being able to collaborate with an office such as the SBA, along with the church community and entrepreneurs, seems an essential requirement for our overall national success. In order to partner, what will be your key message to the audience on May 30th in Los Angeles at Los Angeles City College during the Faith-Based Summit?
I think there are actually a couple of messages I want to get across. First of all, I want to make sure that everyone is aware of the programs that we do have to offer, and we basically kind of lump them under the title of the 3 C's. And we're talking about access to capital here, we're talking about government contracts, and we're also talking about counseling and training. The idea here basically with our access to capital programs, SBA guarantees, in most cases it's a guarantee program, guarantees loans. And because we guarantee these loans, banks feel more comfortable making those loans. And as a result, entrepreneurs who might not qualify for a conventional loan will then have an opportunity to get the funds they need to start that business. So that's very important. Kind of as a subset, and something I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about when I get out there into Los Angeles on the 30th, is our microloan program. This actually is something, and it kind of goes back to a question you asked earlier. This is something that we actually can partner with a faith-based organization on. One of the very few things that we can partner with a nonprofit. In fact, we must partner with a nonprofit for a microloan program. And the microloan program is a program that the loans are capped at $50,000 to the individual. SBA makes a loan to a nonprofit intermediary, and that could be a faith-based organization or it could be a secular nonprofit. That intermediary is then responsible for making the loan to the end borrower. As I say, they're capped. The loan to the end borrower is capped at $50,000. And just to kind of give you some sense here as to why those are important. If you're a small business person today, it can be hard to get a loan. If you're a small business person, underserved community, it can be particularly hard to get a loan. So for whatever reasons, when traditional lenders have said no, there's got to be some place that you as an entrepreneur can go to get that money you need to start your business. And that's what these microloan intermediaries are, truly local financing options. After the capital, and I don't want to go on too long here, it's also government contracting is important to know about. 23% of all federal governments, and this government contracts by dollar volume, are supposed to go to small businesses. That amounts to a significant amount of money. Back in 2011, I think it was almost $100 billion. So SBA actually helps small businesses get access to the biggest purchaser of goods and services in the world, and that would be the U.S. government. And the last C is counseling and training. It comes out of entrepreneurial development, and this is basically every year SBA and our resource partners, we provide training to over 1 million small businesses and entrepreneurs. And this can really make a difference in whether your business is going to be successful and grow.
In attendance on May the 30th at the Los Angeles Faith-Based Summit will be a wide range of entrepreneurs and a variety of experiences. Those that are just beginning their journey as starting a business, those that have been in the business development for many years and want to now grow their business to higher levels. Is there a message or a particular message that you want to have or will have that benefits those, that diverse audience base?
Yes, I believe so. I think the microloan program might be particularly well suited for people who are just starting out in the business. On the other hand, we have the guarantee programs, the loan guarantee programs I talked about. They can, in the case of the 504 loan, and I don't want to get too much into the weeds here, but the 504 loan, if you actually kind of add up all the different components, a 504 loan could go up to maybe $14 million. And there are 3 pieces to it, and I don't want to get, again, too much into the weeds on that. There's also a 7A loan, and those going to go up to $5 million or $5.5 million. So, yeah, I think there's really, when you look at the access to capital programs that we have, I really think there's something for everybody there.
What about the faith-based community? Are you finding that more of the faith-based community participants, whether they're synagogues, churches, or mosques, are becoming community development centers and resources for entrepreneurs in order to stimulate local economies?
You know, I think I find, as I go across the country, I think I find a lot of faith-based organizations that clearly have the mission. They really do want to do the right thing by their congregants and their neighbors and so on. But too frequently, and I kind of, to some extent, put the onus on us here, they don't have the tools, they don't have the knowledge they need. And that's why I think something like this event that's coming up in Los Angeles on the 30th is particularly important. Having said that, there is one more thing I should say about SBA's relationship with faith-based and neighborhood organizations. If you're a faith-based organization, and I'm seeing more of this again as I travel across the country, if you're a faith-based organization and you have set up a for-profit, and there's quite a bit of this happening, for-profit company to, let's say, provide daycare, or to maybe open up a coffee shop or a bookstore, to the extent that those are truly for-profit operations, you would be eligible to participate in SBA's programs.
Jerry, in the audience on the 30th will also be lenders. And are there any specific advice or information that you can share with our audience today as they prepare to attend that summit that's directed to lender and lender relations and how to develop and nurture lender relationships and identifying the lender that's most appropriate for an entrepreneur's needs?
Yeah, let me just say, when it comes to lender relations, I would be going out on some thin ice right here. So I think the better answer for me is to say, on the 30th, we are going to have some experts from our LA office, including the district director. So I think I would prefer to leave that for that particular question for him.
Absolutely fine. And actually, the district director, Mr. Victor Parker, has been a guest on Sylvia Global about the summit and will be coming back for a video broadcast as we're having today. So I'll take that question back to him when he
That's
comes
great.
back on. Are there any closing thoughts that you have for us, Jerry? You spent, prior to being at the SBA, more than 20 years with HBO. You've also served in a variety of capacities, including regional vice president and executive vice president of affiliate relations. You hold an MBA from Harvard, a master's degree in foreign service from Georgetown, and your bachelor's from Providence College. From the wonderful breadth of experiences that you have, is there some words of advice or wisdom that you can share with our audience today?
Actually, I guess I could share a story about myself. For a number of years, as you indicate, I worked at Home Box Office, and it was a great place, a very, very terrific place to work. Just great things happening there, and I retired about 10 years ago. And when I retired, I went out and I started a couple of small businesses. And I thought I knew quite a bit about business. I had been in corporate America for quite a while, but I encountered a lot of issues when you try to start a small business. And if I had only known then what I know now about the programs and support that SBA provides, I have to tell you that whole experience would have been a lot easier. So I would urge anyone who might be interested in starting a small business or growing their business, and if they're in the Los Angeles area, to please try to come out on the 30th and be part of this great event.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Mr. Jerry Flavin, Assistant Administrator of the Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnerships at the U.S. Small Business Administration. I look forward to meeting you in person at Los Angeles City College on Thursday, May the 30th, 2013, and expanding our conversation there. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you, Gail. Have a good day.
Have a good afternoon. You too.